This video will show you how to forecast your life insurance telesales income in real time using your own numbers, and at the same time highlight the inefficiencies in your business that you need to fix in order to hit those income goals you're shooting for. I'll be doing that by screen sharing our life insurance income estimator calculator. You don't need to register or sign up or pay for anything like that. It's 100% free. Just go to digitalbga.com/income-estimator. So we use this daily in our business to mentor agents and just run different scenarios. I mean, you can get a lot of insights. If you are a struggling independent agent, you can figure out the inefficiencies that you need to fix right now based on the numbers and how just fixing one small thing can make a big impact on your monthly profits. And I do want to preface this by saying this is an income estimator. Estimator being the key word here. So it's a rough calculation, but it's going to give you some incredible insights to your business. So let's break it down. Let's dig in. This is the Life Insurance Telesales Income Estimator. You can go to digitalbga.com/income-estimator and you'll pull this up here. Now, we use this every day with our call center agents that we pay salaries plus commission to, and we are coaching and mentoring agents using this as well on the independent side. I'm going to show you guys how we use this and just how much data, how many insights you can get just by putting some inputs in here and looking at the data over on this side, the output. We believe that little hinges swing big doors, meaning small optimizations can have huge effects on your profitability. And you just need to be able to see the data to be able to understand and get those insights. So the first thing I'll say here is when you're putting in these inputs, you want to look at it from a single time frame, every single time. So you want to look at a 1 month period with the last day being 2 weeks ago. So if today is December 15th, you'd be looking at a date range of November 1st to November 30th. Now we do that because we don't want to see the data on the leads that we received yesterday or a few days ago. Those leads haven't had enough time to mature, right? We haven't had enough time to contact them, to make our presentations, to do our follow-ups. By going back 2 weeks in the previous 30 days or month before that, we have more actionable and just better data to look at, all right? So that's why we do that. So make sure you do something like that. You can look 2 months back, 3 months back if you want, but just do the same time frame every single time. So let's get into the inputs here. Now, the inputs, we have the input explanations below here. So if I skim over something, you can go back and scroll down and see it there. But cost per lead. So cost per lead, self-explanatory here. Biggest thing I'll say here is don't commingle your leads. So if you're taking a $13 lead, a $15 lead, and a $66 lead, don't commingle them, separate them out and get data on their own. Now, if you're running your own Facebook ads, for example, you want to look at that time frame again. Again, if this is December 15th, you want to look at the cost per lead in November, from November 1st to November 30th. And get that average cost per lead in there. Okay, so leads per day. This is how many leads you received during that time frame, November 1st to November 30th, and divided by 22. On average, there's 22 working days in a month. We do that every single month. How many leads divided by 22? That's how you can run these estimates. I know some months have less, working days in them because of holidays and whatnot, or shorter months, but we divide it by 22 every single time just to have accurate data. We're running it the same way every time, okay? So leads per day. And by the way, guys, all this information you should be able to pull from your CRM. If you're not able to pull this information from your CRM, I don't know how you're going to get better in this business and how to see these inefficiencies that you have, okay? You'll see here in just a second. All these should be able to be pulled from your CRM. Conversion to sale. Again, just during that time frame, you're just looking at leads from November 1st to November 30th. If a lead was received in October, and you made a sale in November, that doesn't count as a sale. All right, so conversion to sale. Spouse sale rate. All right, if you don't know what that is, just leave it around 15%. That's about average. Average annual premium, it depends on your lead that you're working. So at the very bottom here, if you're a digital BGA agent, we have benchmarks. All right, so for each lead type. So minimum, what you need to maintain to stay profitable enough to reinvest in your business, to keep buying leads. That's minimum, right? Target is what the highest performing agents are achieving consistently. So web leads, which we're going to run an example on right now, minimum is 4%, which most agents are doing. The top agents are over 10%. And average premium is $1,000. Average premium target is over $1,200. And I know some of you that are not with Digital BG are thinking, oh, that's BS. You guys aren't getting final expense leads with $1,000 to $1,200 for a web lead. We are. With our marketing, this is what we're doing. We see the data, and we are. So it's also a training issue too. So you have to have, we build a lot of value into our scripting. We do a max offer type of close. So a lot goes into getting these numbers, but this is average that it stays between every single month. So I'm gonna give that example as soon as I go through these inputs. So, average annual premium, you have average commission. If you're on 100, let's just say this is the final expense. If you're at an average 110% commission, but when you factor in your GI business, advanced caps, or your graded business, it might be 95%. So we're just being conservative and not saying 110, we're saying 95%. And then average placement rate, 75%. You can go into your core carrier and pull this from your core carrier. Find your placement rate. Enter that information in here. Guys, don't embellish. This is to help you, all right? If you're below, a 75%, maybe you're much lower than that, that's okay. At least you're gonna see how these numbers affect your income, right? Average advance rate, most of us are on a 9-month or 75% advance. But also, again, if you write GI business, the advance might be 6 months, or you might write some carriers that, maybe Direct Express might be as earned, right? So, maybe an average advance might be 70%. So let's run the numbers here. Just click calculate. You'll see this here. It'll automatically populate daily, monthly, and annual income estimator. So you have lead costs, self-explanatory. So lead costs on a daily basis, if you're taking 10 leads a day times 15 is 150, total leads 10. Taken directly from here, it mostly does the math for monthly and annual. Unique issued sales, so that's the conversion to sale. With spouse sales, you have total sales made, total premium sold. So on a daily basis, you're going to write on average $690 of premium on these inputs here, right? A $15 lead, taking 10 leads a day at a 6% conversion with all these inputs. And you'll put 518 in force because of the placement rate. Some of them will be declined, some of them won't place, they won't draft, right? So gross commissions, taking the 95%, it's 492. And then you take gross commissions 492. Then you take, the advances, and that's 344. And then you take out the lead cost from the 344. You have $194 after lead cost. Monthly is this times 22 working days, and then annual is the 22 working days. So basically monthly times 12. That's how we're coming up with these numbers, and you can see the output calculations here. Okay, enough of that boring stuff. Let's get into some examples here. So we have an agent working a web lead here. They are taking, they think they're taking 10 leads a day because that's what they have ordered, 10 leads a day, but maybe they're only actually getting 6 leads a day. Maybe they stopped a lead order for a week and they didn't actually take 10 leads a day and they actually had 6 leads a day. Okay. You calculate that, and this agent's saying, okay, I'm only making $2,500 a month. I cannot afford to live like this, right? This does not support my family. This is not what I got into this business for. So what we do, we get these inputs in here. We're just going to use this example. And the agent's complaining that they're not making, they're making a sale once every 2 to 3 days. And they don't understand because they're spending $90 a day and they're not making they feel like they're lighting their lead money on fire, right? Because they're making sales once every 2 to 3 days. So looking at this, you can set your expectations because total sales made is 0.41. Based on these numbers, you're profitable, right? You want to make more money. You want to make more sales. You just got to take more leads because right now it's expected that you write less than half a policy a day, right? So according to this, you should write a policy every 3 days, not even every 2 days, because 0.82 total sales made with these numbers, you should be once every 3 days or so. You should be writing a policy. And that's to be expected. A lot of agents are getting down on themselves because they're spending so much money. But really, when you look at their conversion to sale, they should only be making a sale every 3 days. But they see other agents making a sale every day, 2 every day, 3 every day, right? And that kind of says, okay, what am I doing wrong here? But when you plug the numbers in, you see your conversion to sale is fine. It's within the targets, right? And so we have benchmarks down here. You know, that goes over exactly what you need to maintain to stay profitable enough to reinvest and what the highest performing agents are achieving. Not pie in the sky numbers, but what agents are doing consistently. So you look at these sales rates between 4 and 10%, right? This is the minimum you need to do to reinvest and stay profitable. Sales rate target 10% plus. Many agents doing that. So this agent's at 6%, doing fine on the sales, right? If they wanted to maintain and not get better at their presentation and they just want to take more leads, let's just bump this up to 15. Now they're making $6,400 a month and they're going to make 1 sale per day. If they just wanted to just bump up the numbers, okay? These are the types of scenarios that you can run on your business. Now, if the agent really wanted to stay at the 6 leads a day and, really work on the presentation, just pound these leads, right? Call them 2 to 3 times every single day and, really work on presenting well, building rapport, building value, not cutting any corners on a presentation. And let's just say they get up to, a 9% conversion to sale. What does that do? So it brings them up from the 2,500 to the 4,800, right? And so maybe that's a livable income for them, still taking the same amount of leads a day. Again, use these inputs to see what if, right? So I'm going to talk about an agent who does a lot of premium with us, right? 20K club every single time, works our TV leads. So this agent, right now, we'll just say cost per lead is $66. For those outside of digital, BJ, it's a variable, right? This changes. It could be less. It could be more. It all depends. So we pass on what we generate a TV call for to agents. But this is, hovers around $66. So this agent, on average, was taking 4 leads a day. Conversion to sale was 21%, right? And, if you look at benchmarks down here, the conversion to sale is anywhere between 18% to 30%. So they're profitable, right? They're above the minimum to stay profitable to reinvest. Average annual premium was good. Average annual premium was $1,200, and average commission, we'll leave that the same. But let's see what they should have made. Right? They should have been profiting around $7,000 a month, but this agent was profiting around $3,000 a month and couldn't figure it out because he looked at the data in the CRM and it showed a 21% closing rate. Right? And that even includes declines. Right? Declines and whatnot, because that all works itself out in the placement rate here. And that was the issue. It was his placement rate. All right. So placement rate, when we dug into the numbers, we looked at some of the carriers, it was anywhere between 50 to 55%. So let's add that 50%. And that's the $3,000 a month profit, right? That he was, it's 50 to 55%. So that was the $3,000 a month that he was making every month. And again, guys, this is taking 4 leads a day. This is taking TV calls, picking up the phone, and from somebody calling in from a TV commercial. And all he has to work on, this agent is fine with his presentation. He sounds great on the phone, but his placement rate was trash. And we've connected it to, he was writing probably 7 or 8 different carriers. He didn't have a lead carrier. He didn't understand the processes. He wasn't doing Social Security billing on a lot of them. And there were just a lot of things he could do. So for this agent, all he has to do is get his average placement rate up. So let's just say he got it up to 70%. Now he's making decent money, right? Now, all he needs to do now is, if he wanted to increase this a little bit, take a little bit more leads a day, because honestly, this is a half day's work. Taking 4 calls a day, it's 3 to 4 hours, you're making 4 presentations. You could take 8 to 10 calls a day. We have agents taking 8 to 10 calls a day. If he wanted to, he fixed that, and then he chose to double that and work a full day. He's now making over $12,000 a month by sitting at home, answering calls from TV. This is the type of stuff where you can diagnose to figure out your profitability issues. But you got to be honest, you can't embellish these numbers. So let's take a different example here. Let's say that you're an unprofitable agent, right? You're losing money. You're not doing good on your conversion to sale, right? Let's just say you're taking, web leads again, and you're at like a 4%, like the minimum, but you're still not cash flowing it, right? You're not doing that great. You're on the minimums for average premium for these web leads. Average commission, 95% placement rate. Let's call it 75%. Something's not clicking here, right? Let's just say you wanted to go LOA. What if that's the solve to your issues? Okay, let's take a look at that. Cost per lead, 0. 15 leads a day. Say average, same numbers here. Average commission, let's just say it's going to be 30%. A lot of LOA programs out there are 30, 40, 50, 60%. And for some reason, these programs get crapped on out in the industry because they think people are taking advantage of agents by giving them 30% contracts. But really, all the risk lies on the agency providing those leads. They're the ones paying for the leads, right? If you don't make those sales, they're losing money. So think of it that way as well. But that's neither here nor there. Let's keep going here. So 30% commission, average placement rate will keep the same. Average advance rate is typically 100%. You typically get 30% and you get it all up front, or 40% or whatever it is. Click calculate. Now this agent's making $3,400 a month. No lead costs, no anxiety, no financial risk, and they can work their way into becoming a better agent. They can work on that conversion to sale, get it up to 7%, right? Because you're going to get the reps, you're going to get a lot of leads, and now they're making $6,000 a month. Now you're stockpiling cash for a few months, right? Yeah, you're living, you got to pay some of that for your living expenses, but now you're saving up, right? You're in this LOA program for a year. You've got your conversion to sale, because you're making multiple sales per day. You got your conversion to sale to 10% now. You're an all-star, and you're making 6 figures a year. Now you have the experience, you have the conversion to sale, you have money stockpiled to buy these leads, and then you go independent. A lot of agents need to swallow their pride, let go of their ego, and go LOA. I think in 2023, we're going to see a huge shift of agents go from independent to LOA or to some salaried telesales position. I see that being a trend because things are going to get tight, right? Inflation, recession, all that stuff is going to affect everyone here. And so the agents on the lower tiers are going to be cut out. And we already know like 90% of agents fail within the first year. So we already know that. I think it's going to get worse. And I think this is going to be a trend in the industry in 2023. That's not the video for this, but I do want to show you that you can weigh an LOA program here as well. So weigh it against, if you want to go independent, or maybe you're weighing LOA programs together, because maybe there's somebody who gives you 5 leads a day, but the conversion to sale is much higher because they're TV leads or transfers or something like that. So you can work the numbers through there. So really, the important thing here is that you have the data to put your inputs in, and you can see and expect what you can sell every single day based on your numbers. You don't get down on yourself if you're not writing a sale a day because you're not supposed to, because you're not taking enough leads, right? But the profitability is still working out for you in the end. That's important for agents to understand. Maybe your sales rate is there, but your profits aren't there. Again, it could be your placement rate. It could be something else. There's a lot to this. And so messing with these inputs and getting real data into it and then playing with them, like, hey, what can I do to increase my profits every single month? And focusing on that. If you need to increase your conversion to sale and you're an outbound agent, you got to make more dials, got to put in more activity, you got to fix your presentation. If you're an inbound agent, got to fix your presentation. and take more calls even. There's a lot of different levers that we say that you can pull, right? Whether it be your leads, how many leads you take per day, your conversion, your spouse sale, your average premium, your placement, all those are levers that you can pull to make yourself more profitable. And that's what this exercise is all about. So use this telesales income estimator to find your inefficiencies. Be real with yourself and put that data in the inputs. Don't embellish it, and see what happens here. And if you're not profitable, I really encourage you to do this, because you can see just small changes in your conversion to sale or any of these can have a big effect on your business. I'm not going to go through all those right here. You guys can play with this. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments here. I'd be happy to answer them. But this is a tool that we're using daily to help our agents, our W-2 agents that we pay salaries and commission, and our independent agents that we're mentoring as well, to get them to understand how their data affects their profitability, and to be able to visualize this and see exactly what it takes to be more profitable. It becomes clearer. You know what inefficiencies you have to work on to become more profitable. All right, guys, if you have any questions, put them in the comments, and hope you find this life insurance telesales income estimator valuable.